David Sobel.
Now, Maggie, I came across a staggering statistic. This year, over 5 billion laboratory tests are going to be done. And that means that the average American is getting about 20 tests per year done. With this number of tests that are being done, it really pays to know something about these tests. So we decided to take a look at what goes on in a medical laboratory, and we sent News 11's Robert Dean to find out.
Most of us don't know what really goes on behind the scenes at a medical laboratory, and I'm no exception. So today at Santa Teresa's Community Hospital Lab, I found out. Inside are a number of departments, each specialized, operating 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Our first stop is at the microbiology department. Now this is where living organisms only visible through a microscope are studied. Bacteria, yeast, and viruses, things like that, are all examined here. In this case, a throat culture, something most of us have had, is being studied to check for strep throat. Every hospital lab, of course, includes a blood bank. Here, a variety of donated samples are stored and refrigerated. When a patient needs blood for surgery, his blood and the sample are cross-matched to make sure the right kind is used. Blood is also analyzed here in the chemistry department, which features some of the most sophisticated equipment. Besides blood, urine and other body fluids are studied to check for diseases like diabetes, gout, and high cholesterol levels. Structural and functional changes in the cells, tissues, and organs are diagnosed here in the pathology department. Changes that could be caused by or lead to disease. In this case, part of a patient's gallbladder is being studied. It's molded in a paraffin cube and sliced extremely thin so it can be mounted on a slide. It's then heated and stained and is now ready for examination. From here, the doctor can make a diagnosis. You know, a lot of people have to have blood count tests taken to see if they have the right number of red and white blood cells, but after they give the blood, they don't really know what happens once it goes into the laboratory. So we thought we'd take a sample of my blood, take it into the lab, and follow it all the way through. Here in the hematology lab, the last stop on my tour, the blood is broken down into red and white cells and counted by this special machine. In minutes, a computer card is produced with all the information. Then, under a microscope, a slide of my blood is examined to break down the red and white blood cells into specific categories to check for diseases like mononucleosis, syphilis, and pneumonia. Well, I've got the blood results back, and it shows my blood count is normal. I'm fighting a slight cold, which I am, and I'm reacting to some pollen in the air, and that's probably true because I have hay fever. It's a very simple process, as you probably saw, and it certainly unveiled the mystery of what lab work really is. And I encourage you to learn about the same, too. Now back to David in the studio.
That's right. If you would like to go on a similar tour to Robert's through the Santa Teresa Community Hospital Medical Center lab this coming week, you can call them and set up a time. The number is 578-4444, extension 347.